Sorry. Sorry we were late. Sorry we were late. You're not going to believe this, but I went on like a crazy... Where's my watch? My Apple Watch. Who has an Apple Watch here? Hi there. Hi there, guys. Oh my goodness, look how many people. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Josie. Hi, Mike. Hi, Sean. Let's see, Julie W. Hi. Alicia. I asked for you yesterday, Alicia Bisso. How are you? Julie W. Liza Ward. Julie do. Everybody. Josie West. How are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. Let's see. Flo. Hi. What else do we have here? Kathy. Hi. You guys have been chatting a lot. Lisa. Lisa Keller hopes she starts soon. It's late. Lisa Keller. Why does your name sound so familiar to me? Lisa Keller. Lisa Keller. Keep it kind. How you doing? I'm here. Are you waiting for me? Good to see you. Keep it kind. Keep it kind. Keep it kind. Oh, I'm thinking of whatchamacallit. Time for a change. I know it doesn't sound anything like your name. I don't know. I guess not. It's 20 minutes late. Lisa, I was doing stuff. Sorry. Have you heard of Fashionably Late? So late. Uh-oh, Lisa, I think I'm remembering where I know you from. Okay, but we have stuff to talk about. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Roberty Bob. Hi, Heartmate Wise. Hi, Linda Reby. Hi, Whisper to Me. Kevin Leonard. Okay, Isabel. Julie W. Everybody. Rhonda. Blackburn. Good to see you. GB. Okay, but I'm just going to tell you something. I waited the longest time to get that bike. I should have got that bike a lot longer, way long ago. I rode 10 miles today. I didn't even know I rode 10 miles today. I actually lost track of how much I was riding. My speed, okay, when you have an Apple Watch, let me just show you something. And you put it on, I'm here, thank you, Liza, you're such a sweetheart. Hi, Linda. When you have an Apple Watch and you go like this, when you go put this and then you do outdoor cycle and you hit it, it goes 3, 2, 1, go, right? And then you go. If you stop at all, then it's still factoring that in. And uh-oh, I didn't mean to do it. Now it's going to think I'm on the outdoor cycle. And so when you stop, I used to be able to go like this and have my time right there, and then click it, and I take a shot of it and stop. Well, when I came around, when I was going to end, Jimmy was there. And I'm like, Jimmy, I can't get this for 2 minutes. I'm not joking. We stood around with this stupid watch. But it still said my speed was almost 10 miles per hour. And that means it had dropped down. Okay? Because every minute you're standing around, it averages into your speed. And then it averages into your time. But I rode 10.2 miles. Jimmy, how many miles did I go?
Over 10 miles.
I know, but you have it on your phone. Anyway, he went 10.
When it was happy?
Yeah. I want to know exactly. Exactly.
10.03 miles.
10.03 miles. And so that was really good because I told I'm like, it didn't matter how fast I went on my other bike, it would not get over like, I think like 8.5 miles an hour or something like that. And then it would get to the point where you couldn't pedal any, it's hard to say. My daughter said, I'm ready now for the bike tour, the 5-borough bike tour. She wants me to go on that with her. So I might do that. Would you guys, we could I don't think we could be live doing the 5-borough bike tour if I do. But I told her I'd rather do the one in New Jersey where she saved the guy from the heart attack. Isn't that, yeah. And I was amazed. And I'm telling you, if you're in between and you think, oh, well, this Schwinn bike I got is $300 and it's really good, and it's totally different. It's totally different. And this is this is, I don't go to a gym or anything like this. This is the exercise that I do, that I love to do. Besides walking and running, I like to ride my bike most of all. And I kind of feel like somebody that got a new car and you want to keep driving it around. I love it. I absolutely love it. So anyway, and then Jimmy, you got it going really fast, right? Too. Jimmy? You can't hear me. You got the bike to go really fast.
I did, really fast. It's really easy to ride. It's really good.
It's very easy to ride. It's like fast. Okay. Yeah, Linda, it's nice, but just love biking too. And I just love it. Anyway, let me go to the ARC thing because they found something with the yoga teacher, okay? The one that they've been searching for. There's some new news finally on it. Not they haven't got her yet, but they have some stuff, okay? And remember, she was up near me. Remember that? Federal authorities said that they found a car that belonged to Caitlin Armstrong, and it was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was sold to a CarMax dealership in Austin, Texas on May 13th for $12,200. I don't know why it took so long for that, to find that out, okay? She was issued a check a day after she was questioned by police regarding the death of cyclist Mariah Wilson, 24. So she sold this car for $12,200 and went on the run, right? On May 11th, she allegedly shot and killed Wilson, who was staying at her friend's house because she was in Austin for a bike race. She's believed to have flown out of Austin on May 14th. She boarded a connecting flight to New York LaGuardia Airport, and then there are reports that someone drove her to an airport in Newark, New Jersey, Newark Airport, on May 18th, a day after a warrant was issued for her arrest. However, no outbound flight reservations were listed under her name. And then reports indicated that she was last seen at Camp Haven, which is 7 miles from me, okay, in Livingston Manor, New York. A $21,000 reward is being offered for information leading to her capture. Jimmy, if you see that lady, $21,000. That yoga teacher lady that killed the cyclists.
Oh, okay. 21,000.
21,000 can be ours. Okay. So they found out that she sold the car. So that's her spending money while she's on the run. Okay, so a 2-year-old Florida girl is hospitalized in critical condition with broken bones and a brain bleed that were left untreated for a week. The girl's mother, Cheyenne Gray, 21, and her boyfriend, Cameron Taylor, 21, have been arrested. The little girl was admitted to the hospital on June 12th. Taylor reportedly told investigators the little girl was injured when she fell off a bed and hit her head. Detectives challenged him on the severity of the girl's injuries, however, and he said there had been another incident in which she fell off the toilet seat and hit her face on the bathtub. Oh my gosh. And he also said she fell off his lap face first onto the carpet. Yeah, you bastard. Okay. When asked about the thumb imprints found on the child's neck, he said they came from holding her tightly to wash her hair. Taylor told detectives he was not aware of his own strength and didn't mean to abuse the child. Taylor reportedly texted photographs of the girl's injuries to Gray, who told detectives she didn't seek medical attention for her daughter because it would make her look like an abusive mother. Staff at the Mies Countryside Hospital called the Clearwater Police Department when the toddler was brought in. She was subsequently transferred to St. Joseph's Hospital in Tampa. Gray has been charged with child neglect. Taylor's been charged with child neglect, child abuse, aggravated battery, and great bodily harm. Wow, I hope she's okay and gets to a loving family. That's horrible. So someone got help. Please call the police. He's going to call me when you delivered. Comes with the cones. Please don't make it obvious. A 24-year-old woman in the Bronx was being held hostage. Okay, and employees at the Chipper Truck Cafe in Yonkers weren't sure if the message they found on a Grubhub order was real. It seemed to be jumbled. Syntax to please call the police. Don't make it obvious. The order came in around 5 a.m. on Sunday for an Irish breakfast sandwich and a cheeseburger, and they also asked employees to please call the police. Don't make it obvious. Police responded to the Bronx address on the order and found a 24-year-old woman allegedly held against her will and essayed. Kamoy Royale, 32, was arrested and charged with unlawful imprisonment and other counts, and he was linked to an unrelated essay days before. He's being held on a $200,000 bond. A few days later, Grubhub called the cafe and told Bermejo that they were giving the restaurant a $5,000 reward. They thanked him for what he did, and the thanks for paying attention to the notes, and for the appreciation they wanted to give us a reward. The money would definitely come in handy, but mostly we're so grateful he's caught and the girl is okay. So that's something. What am I? Hold on a minute, guys. All right. Good night. Love you. Have a good sleep. Okay. Have a good sleep. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Oh, shoot. Come over here, buddy. So we have a blood test reportedly confirmed that a Tennessee woman who was charged with a DUI in September that led to her temporarily losing custody of her son was sober at the time of her arrest. Williamson County nurse Katie Slayton had worked 41 hours in a 3-day period at the height of the pandemic, and she was not working the following day when she dropped off her 5-year-old son at daycare when she went to the mall. Slayton reportedly returned to the daycare hours later to pick up her son, but an employee secretly called the police on her, claiming she appeared off and she was talking to herself and walking in circles. Police body cam footage showed Slayton apparently having difficulty completing a field sobriety test as her son yells in the background. Per a police report, Slayton told officers that she takes Prozac and Adderall for ADHD. "I don't smell any alcohol," one of the officers was heard saying in the body cam footage. Slayton told the news outlet that she became shaky during the sobriety test because they had taken her son, who was running on the sidewalk, and had started running when officers took him into the daycare, started yelling. She attributed failing the sobriety test to stress. I think basically it's either fight or flight. It's my maternal instincts. They were off. I just realized they're taking my son. And at that point, I started shaking. Upon failing the test, police officers are heard telling Slayton that the state will take custody of her son if she cannot get a hold of a babysitter or family. And she tells cops that she is not from Tennessee, and her phone showed she was not intoxicated when she was excuse me, hold on a minute. My thing just jumped up. That her phone is dead. Slayton was charged with DUI in addition to a felony child neglect. The Department of Child Services had custody of her 5-year-old son for 9 weeks as they awaited reports on her blood alcohol levels, which showed that she was not intoxicated when she was arrested. A psychologist ultimately cleared her to regain custody of her son. However, it took 6 months for a more intensive blood test to show that she was sober on the night of her arrest. Slayton's attorney said she did test positive for therapeutic levels of her prescribed ADHD medication, amphetamine. In her body cam footage, Slayton is heard maintaining that she took her medication that morning. Franklin police said that they cannot comment on specifics, but they claim probable cause was presented in this case. Meanwhile, Slayton alleged that the police department refused to apologize that an internal review of last year's arrest uncovered no violations. Slayton said that she plans to leave Tennessee in light of this ordeal. She commented, "They have traumatized my son, they have traumatized me, and they have driven a nurse with a clean record in 3 straight out of Franklin, Tennessee." Okay, then we have a incident. During a procedural hearing in an Ohio court on Thursday, a father attacked the man accused of tossing his son into the Ohio River and stabbing the boy's mother to death. Deshaun Brown has been charged with the murder in the deaths of 29-year-old Nitisha Lattimore and her 3-year-old son Nilo, whose body was never found. On Thursday, Nilo's father, Antonio Hughes, came up behind Brown, who was sitting at the defense table with his attorneys, and punched him several times before 2 female officers took him to the floor. They handcuffed him and got him to his feet, while other officers prepared to take Brown out of the courtroom. Hughes glared in Brown's direction, watching the action, and appeared to try again to get him despite the handcuffs. Hughes was charged with contempt of court and ordered to serve 7 days in the Hamilton County Justice Center. Investigators say Brown stabbed Nitisha Lattimore to death. His girlfriend at the time, sometime around December 11th, her body was found near the Purple People Bridge in Cincinnati, and shortly afterwards, someone found a stroller in the area. When Nilo Lattimore was reported missing the following day, police launched a search for him, sending divers into rivers. In addition to 2 counts of murder, Brown has been charged with felonious assault, gross abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. Thursday's hearing was on a motion by the defense to toss out a confession Brown made to police on the day of his arrest. His attorneys claimed he had requested an attorney, but that officers intimidated him into talking without one. Do you feel like you need one at this point? Judge Megan Shanahan denied the motion, saying police did not act improperly and did not violate his rights. Brown faces the death penalty if he's convicted. So this is guy attacking. It's very sad because he doesn't even know where his son is. The former wife of a murdered Florida man who recently lawyered up reportedly told an employee at a tattoo salon that she wanted someone to shut him up when she was referring to her husband. 33-year-old Jared Bridegan was shot and killed on February 16th, shortly after dropping his twin children off at his ex-wife's house, Shanna Gardner Fernandez. Her house was in Jacksonville Beach. Jared's daughter, Bexley, who he shares with his second wife, was in the car with him at the time, strapped into her car seat. Police say Jared saw a rim tire in the road while driving back home to St. Augustine. He stopped to check on it when an unknown assailant shot him in front of his toddler daughter before fleeing. Bexley was reportedly in the car for several minutes while her father passed away. So far, the Jacksonville Beach Police Department hasn't named a suspect in connection with the case, and Gardner Fernandez maintains her innocence. A tattoo parlor staffer who pierced Gardner Fernandez's genitals said that she asked him specifically if he knew anyone who could shut her husband up. She had been talking to us about her divorce, and she told us her life could be so much better if he could just shut up, and asked us if we knew anybody that could shut him up. The tattoo parlor staffer said, "I did not take it at the time as anything nefarious. In hindsight, I can see how that can be taken differently now." He added that he quickly bonded with Gardner Fernandez due to the time spent living in Utah with a Mormon roommate. After the pair became friends, she reportedly stopped by the parlor frequently, where she complained that Bridegan was trying to take all of her money. She went from a goody two-shoe girl to this wild lady, he said, adding that her appearance began to change drastically from the first time he met her. "I remember thinking, well, this is a changed woman." Meanwhile, Gardner Fernandez reportedly secured high-powered criminal defense attorney Henry Coates III for the purpose of seeing if steps could be taken to protect the young twins from any publicity surrounding this tragic event. As for any other reason for the family to have or need counsel, whether it be myself or anyone else, there is none, Cox III said. During a custody and alimony dispute between Jared and his first wife, issues became vicious, and Jared accused Gardner Fernandez of spying on him. "This is enough. I should have every damn right on my own property to not constantly be under recording or monitoring by Shanna," Jared wrote to his divorce attorney in 2015. "I want the flipping gates of hell released on her for this." The pair continued to argue throughout the tumultuous divorce proceedings, with Gardner Fernandez reportedly accusing Jared of coaching their children to make false statements about her. When she was denied an investigation into the matter, Gardner Fernandez allegedly filed a motion against her ex in 2021, accusing him of withholding their son's breathing machine. The father apparently considers his vindictiveness towards the mother. What's up with Sassy? More important than protecting his son's health and life, her lawyer wrote in the motion filing. After his death, Gardner Fernandez and the twins didn't attend his memorial services. Nice. A Michigan woman's behind bars after an infant boy passed away, allegedly due to injuries that occurred when he was in her care. Kimora Hodges, 21, was arrested and initially charged with first-degree child abuse last week. Prosecutors say the charges will likely be upgraded after 1-year-old Kyrie passed away. Oh my gosh, what's the matter? After sustaining head trauma while in her care. The incident happened between 3:30 p.m. and midnight, June 13th, at a home in the 30,000 block of Little Mac Avenue in Roseville. Hodges, identified as a neighbor of the boy's mother, babysat him while the mother went to work. The mother, Taylor Starks, added that Hodges had been babysitting the victim on and off for a few months. Starks said she rushed to Hodges' home to check on Kyrie and found him lying on the ground having seizures. "Once I made it there, my baby was on the ground having seizure after seizure after seizure," Stark said. I'm only 18. I don't have a mom or a dad. It's just me and my baby. I'm hurt. I'm so hurt she did this to me. I would have never done this to her and her baby. Hodges reportedly contacted Starks on the day in question and told her that the infant wasn't behaving normally. Starks called 911. Kyrie was taken to an area hospital where a doctor confirmed he had severe head trauma. He underwent emergency surgery but subsequently passed away. He had blunt force trauma to the head and was bleeding out of his ears and had to have an immediate brain surgery. Hodges reportedly admitted to investigators that she physically abused the child. She remains behind bars on a $250,000 bond, but that could change if she's charged with murder. Very cooperative and very regretful, remorseful for her actions, but it obviously doesn't take it back, Roseville Police Chief Ryan Monroe said. That's terrible. Mike, thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you. That's horrible. Hey, Rough and Ready. Hi, it's my party. Terrible. A little baby, a year old. Sickening. Beautiful little boy. California man who was charged with killing his 11-year-old son in 2020 was charged on Tuesday with essaying a girl months before his son's murder. Jordan Piper, 36, used a GoPro camera to secretly record the victim using the bathroom and bathing at a Groveland home in October of 2019. Authorities reportedly also recovered footage that showed Piper removing the camera from behind a wall outlet in the bathroom. Piper allegedly had 400 illicit photos of the girl on his phone. The girl reportedly lived with Piper at the time, and police said the illicit images were screenshots from video recordings. Police seized various devices while investigating the January 2020 death of Piper's 11-year-old son, Roman Lopez, who was found dead in a storage bin in the basement of Piper's home. The boy was discovered hours after he was reported missing. Jordan Piper and his wife, Lindsay Piper, 40, were charged with second-degree murder, child abuse likely to cause great bodily injury or death, and causing cruel and extreme pain for revenge, extortion, or sadistic purposes. In February of 2021, Jordan Piper was charged with willfully failing to provide food, clothing, shelter, and medical attention for his son. Reports indicate that Lindsay Piper faced additional charges for poisoning her stepson's water. Last month, Lindsay Piper changed her plea to no contest, and she is going to be sentenced on July 8th. Jordan Piper, who pled not guilty to killing his son, has a preliminary hearing on July 24th. He's charged with sexual exploitation of a child in the latest case. Great. Unbelievable. A 14-year-old Arkansas teen has been found safe after vanishing over a month ago, and a suspect is behind bars in connection with her disappearance. Arkansas State Police said that the victim was last seen on May 13th at 3 o'clock p.m. in the 1300 block of College Street in Mountain Home. She could be, it said when she was missing, that she could be in the company of a 40-year-old man identified as Isaac Melder. We remember this one, right? Melder and the victim were found Wednesday in a rural area of Marion County. According to the Baxter County Detention Center, Melder was arrested on charges of interference with custody and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. He has additional charges pending. At least she was found safe. Okay, so we have more about Uvalde. The chief was put on administrative leave. The embattled chief of the Uvalde School District's police department was put on administrative leave Wednesday as allegations intensify that he erred in his response to last month's mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. An 18-year-old gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers before the Border Patrol tactical team entered the classroom where he was holding everyone and killed him. Texas Department of Public Safety Chief Stephen McGraw has said the police response has called the police response an abject failure and said the school district police chief, Pete Arredondo, made terrible decisions as incident commander on site. But Arredondo denies being incident commander and says he didn't even bring his police radios to the scene because they were too cumbersome. Audio and video of the scene shows the chief giving orders and other officers waiting for more than an hour for an order to breach the classroom. Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Superintendent Hal Harrell said he made the decision to put Arredondo on leave because investigators who testified about the response this week at a Senate committee hearing have been unclear about what happened that day. From the beginning of this horrible event, I shared that the district would wait until the investigation was complete before making personnel decisions, Harrell said. Because of the lack of clarity that remains and the unknown timing of when I will receive the results of the investigations, I have made the decision to place Chief Arredondo on administrative leave effective on this date. Harrell's decision came a day after the Uvalde City Council unanimously denied Arredondo's request for a leave of absence from his duties as a council member. He was sworn in as council member in secret just days after the massacre. McCraw told the state committee that sufficient law enforcement was on site and ready to breach the classroom where gunman Salvador Ramos was within minutes of his arrival there. Yet Arredondo was on the phone requesting more personnel and more arms, even as students inside the classroom called 911 and begged for help. Calls Arredondo knew nothing about because he'd left behind his radios. No order to breach the classroom came for 77 minutes when Arredondo said that a tactical team could go in if they were ready. The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-site commander who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children. Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin is backing Arredondo, accusing state agencies of putting out false information and calling the Senate hearing a clown show. Uvalde school district officials didn't say if Arredondo would be paid while he was on leave. Harrell said another officer in the 6-member department would take over his duties. Okay, we have a, oh, and Judy, I've got to put your thing up. I'm going to get that done. Sorry. Texas police are asking the public to be on the lookout for 12-year-old Fort Worth girl who hasn't been seen since June 20th. According to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Aubrey Traynor was last seen in the 5700 block of Giddy Up Lane in northwest Fort Worth around 10 p.m. She's described as a white female, 5'4", medium hair, medium length auburn hair, hazel eyes, and last seen in a black tank top and red and black thermal pajama pants. Anyone with information about this missing child should call the Fort Worth Police at 817-392-4222. She's found. The remains of a 21-year-old Missouri woman who's been missing since May 19th were found last week, and they were buried in a barn in Cape Girardeau County. Jesse Wolfong's mother contacted the Fredericktown Police Department on May 24th when she hadn't heard from her daughter. Investigators determined that Wolfong had been at a home in Fredericktown on May 19th and that her uncle and his girlfriend picked her up from there and brought her back to their home in Millersville. Teresa Baumgartner, the uncle's 59-year-old girlfriend, told investigators that she, Wolfong, and the uncle spent the evening sitting around the bonfire at her residence, drinking and talking. Court documents say that Wolfong asked to be taken back to Fredericktown, but Baumgartner and the uncle refused. Baumgartner told investigators she must have left in the night on her own. Wolfong's mother filed an official missing persons report with the Cape Girardeau County Sheriff's Office on May 25th, and they served a search warrant on the Millersville home on June 15th. Investigators found that the carpet and the carpet padding from the living room and the hallway had been removed. From evidence they collected, the investigators believed a crime may have been committed and returned on June 18th when they found a recently dug portion of the ground in a barn on property. Upon excavating it, they found Wolfong's remains. An autopsy determined the manner of death was homicide, but authorities didn't specify the cause of death. Baumgartner has been arrested and charged with tampering with evidence in a felony investigation. The sheriff's office said they are still investigating. Additional charges are anticipated against one or more individuals. Terrible. Police in Mississippi arrested a woman, and they charged her with felony child neglect after her 2-month-old son was found dead in a Clinton hotel. Clinton police were called to the Econo Lodge on Tuesday, where they found the baby. The child's mother, 34-year-old Darla Luke, was arrested and held on $25,000 bond. Luke's other 8 children were placed in the care of their grandmother. Hinds County Coroner Sharon Grisham Stewart said the state medical examiner's office will conduct an autopsy to determine the cause of death. She said the death was possibly asphyxiation from a co-sleeping situation. City spokesperson Amanda Jones said that Luke was charged with a misdemeanor child neglect on June 7th related to living conditions and incidents at the home. The children were removed from her custody, but Child Protective Services returned the children to her sometime between June 7th and June 21st. Canadian man whose 3 children were killed in 2015 when the vehicle that they were in was hit by a drunk driver has committed suicide. Edward Lake was found dead on Monday, the day after Father's Day. Michael Musa was convicted in 2016 in the deaths of Daniel Neville Lake 9, Harrison Neville Lake 5, and Millie Neville Lake 2, and their grandfather, 65-year-old Gary Neville. The grandmother and great-grandmother were seriously injured in the collision. And let's see. The wife, I guess, says the eyes he shared with Harry are forever closed. Daniel's curls will never shine in the sunlight again, and I will never see Millie's shy smile creep across his lips anymore. My children's father, Edward Lake, has joined our kids so they can play together forever. The children's mother, Jennifer Neville Lake, posted that on Facebook and Twitter, that her husband has joined our kids so they can play together forever. Musa was initially sentenced to 10 years in prison, but that was reduced to 9 years and 4 months, and he was granted full parole on February 9th of 2021. Florida Department of Law Enforcement has issued a missing child alert for 2 siblings last seen in Fort Myers. Genesis Barrios is 2 months old and is described as having brown hair and brown eyes, nearly 2 feet tall, and about 12 pounds. She was last seen wearing a long sleeve blue onesie and has a pink blanket with her. Her 2-year-old sister, Yasmin Barrios, was described as 2'5", 26 pounds, brown hair and eyes. She was last seen wearing a 2-piece short sleeve pink top and bottom with silver stars. The children are believed to be with Evelyn Sanchez Rojas, 25, and Emer Barrios, 35. Sanchez Rojas has blonde hair and brown eyes and has a tattoo on her left forearm. She was last seen wearing a blue t-shirt and blue jeans. Barrios is 5'7", with brown hair and eyes. They may be traveling in a gray Dodge Dart with Florida tag QFGB59. Any information you have, call the Fort Myers Police Department 239-321-7700 or 911. My Zoom went out there. So let's see. Another, yeah. You know what? And I just remembered there's a UK one to look up. Hi, Bev. Arthur. Okay, I'll look that up. I forgot. Remember Judy? And I was going to post that stuff for her, but she just lost her husband. I got to put that. Judy, I didn't forget. Judy with an I. I didn't forget you. I'm going to get that done. Did not get an Amber Alert. I don't know what's going on. It's breaking my heart, all these babies. I know, Bev. So let's see now, Bev. What apples? What apples are you looking for, Hannah? Arthur Mahoney. Let me just copy that. Okay. Caramel apples? What apples? What apples are you looking for? Hi, Deborah Barron. Hi, it's my party. Well, I'm in top chat and not in live chat. That's bad. I'm just trying to see. Rough and Ready, Nicole Griffith, Mimi, all of the UK were saying and writing banners. We all love you, Arthur. Arthur is loved. It's heartbreaking. I'll look it up. Okay. I'll look it up right now. All right. Hey, Linda. Thank you for being a Sergeant Rambler for 24 months. Love you. Appreciate it. Okay. Josie West. All right, let's see. So you said this is... Okay. It says missing Port Arthur teen. No, that's not it, right? Are you sure you have the name right? Because I'm not getting it. Is it... Hold on. Is it the 6-year-old Arthur Hughes? Is that who you're talking about? Because that's what I'm seeing. Hold on. Thank you, Nicole, for being a Rambler, Deputy Rambler for 26 months. I think I see the one you say, but it's not. It's Arthur Hughes. Is it this child right here? Arthur was tortured and killed after weeks of abuse during lockdown last year. Social services were notified of concerns from family members who found bruises on the boy, but a home visit found no safeguarding concerns. Arthur was left with an unsurvivable brain injury while in the sole care of his 32-year-old Emma Tustin who on Friday was jailed for life after being convicted of murder by assaulting the child on 16th of June 2020. Tustin's sentence carries a minimum of 29 years, while Arthur's father, Thomas Hughes, was sentenced to 21 years for manslaughter. Arthur's murder has shocked and appalled the nation. I'm deeply distressed by this awful case and the senseless pain inflicted on this poor boy who has been robbed of the chance to live his life. It's horrible. I can announce that the government is launching a national review into the circumstances leading up to the tragic death to determine what improvements are needed by the agencies that come in contact with him. This will identify the lessons that must be learned from Arthur's case for the benefit of other children elsewhere in England, to be led by the National Child Safeguarding Practice Review Panel, who will work with Solihill's Safeguarding Children's Partnership. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, that's very sad. Hello, Lisa Jones. Yes, Alicia. He was murdered. Oh, that's horrible, Bev. That I don't want to watch stuff like that. Ugh. It's horrible. Hold on, I've got something else here. An Oklahoma grandmother is facing a murder charge after her 3-year-old granddaughter was found dead in a trash can. According to a press release from the Oklahoma City Police Department, officers arrived at the home of Becky Ann Vreeland, 60, on Tuesday afternoon. Upon arrival, officers were told there was a deceased child at the residence. The press release states, officers found the body of 3-year-old Riley Nolan in a residential trash receptacle at the home. The child had obvious signs of trauma to her body. Authorities are investigating when Riley was placed into the trash. The child has been dead for a period of time at least. It hadn't just happened. Vreeland, who has recently taken custody of the child, was arrested at the scene. Police confirmed that through online records that Vreeland has been charged with first-degree murder and child neglect. She's being held without bond. She has not yet entered a plea, and online records do not reflect an attorney authorized to speak on her behalf. News of the child's death has devastated Vreeland's neighborhood. The next-door neighbor, Marcia Branham, said that she wished she had done more to help the situation. I could have done more. I could have been some assistance for her if she was having trouble, Branham told the news. This kind of shocks me. I just don't understand it because she seemed like a very hard-working grandmother and I could hear her play with the children in the backyard. I wish I had paid more attention. Authorities are still investigating the case, and anyone with information is asked to call the Oklahoma City Homicide Tip Line at 405-297-1200. McKelty Brown. McKelty. That's is expecting twins. Oh my gosh, okay. A home healthcare nurse in Michigan has been arrested, accused of killing a 3-year-old girl after authorities say the child died in her care. 42-year-old Judith Sobel has been charged with second-degree murder and possession of methamphetamine. Police responded to Coloma, Michigan around 2:30 a.m. on Monday. Upon arrival, officers found the parents of a little girl who reportedly suffered from several medical issues, attempting to resuscitate her. Sobel, who investigators say was hired as the girl's night nurse, was discovered lying next to the child, incoherent and mumbling. Per the station, police say the toddler used a breathing tube, which was found detached from her, tangled in her hair. Sobel reportedly told police the breathing tube may have come disconnected during a cleaning that she believes she passed out before reinserting it. Oh my gosh. Through the investigation, officers found that the registered nurse was supposed to care for the child throughout the night. After the investigation was completed and was determined that she was high on methamphetamines and should not... Hold on a minute. I don't know who's messaging me here. Hold on a sec. What? Hold on a minute. I don't know what. Somebody's texting something. Hold on. Through the investigation, the officers found out the registered nurse was supposed to care for the child throughout the night. After the investigation was completed, we determined that she was high on methamphetamines and should not have been in care of that child, said the Coloma Township Police Chief. Citing the probable cause document, which alleges that Sobel confessed she was not in a right state of mind to be at work and should have never come to work at all. She was found in possession of meth, in addition to 2 meth pipes. Sobel also reportedly admitted to shooting up meth consecutively for 4 days prior to coming into care for the little girl. She reportedly got high the same day the toddler died. Sobel is currently being held at the Berrien County Jail on a $500,000 bond. It wasn't immediately clear if she retained an attorney or entered a plea. Hi, John Wasaki. Okay, now. Where were we? Okay. 21-year-old Florida man is accused of slashing his wife's throat, then playing her favorite music and holding her hand while she died in a pool of blood. Ishan Yang was arrested Tuesday after a man claiming to be the alleged killer's employer called the Altamonte Springs, Florida police. The caller told cops that his employee had not turned up to work, killed the victim, and was busy cleaning the crime scene. When cops arrived at Yang's apartment, they reportedly found his wife's body in the home bathtub. Cleaning supplies, including rubber gloves, were also uncovered. Police say the suspect admitted to slitting his wife's throat, and then he put her in the bathtub when she tried crawling away. He also said he confessed to spending the last 10 minutes of her life comforting her as they listened to tunes. Yang allegedly told authorities he had the option of stopping her from dying, but he was raised to always go all the way. No motive has been reported. Cops in Germany have arrested 2 boys, 13 and 14, alleged of suffocating a 15-year-old girl whose body was found in a thicket 2 days after she went missing. The girl, Anastasia, disappeared without a trace Sunday from Lower Saxony, which is northwestern Germany. Some 50 police officers took part to search for the missing schoolgirl. She is of Russian background, and they used sniffer dogs and a drone. The worst was confirmed Tuesday afternoon when the drone found a lifeless body in an overgrown lot behind the supermarket close to where Anastasia lived. The body was quickly determined to be Anastasia, and an autopsy found she had been suffocated. It was not clear when Anastasia was killed, but investigators said the evidence strongly suggests she died the day she went missing. It's also unclear if the spot where she was found is the spot where she was killed. Shortly after Anastasia's body was found, cops arrested a 14-year-old male suspect, and a court order was subsequently issued to keep him in custody, and he reportedly faces up to 10 years in prison if found guilty of the killing. Shark attack has left a man swimming on the California coast of Monterey County with significant injuries Wednesday morning. The Pacific Grove Police Department said the incident occurred at 10:30 a.m. at Lovers Point Beach in Pacific Grove. Nearby swimmers and surfers can be seen rushing towards the struggling swimmer following the account. Once the victim was safely brought to the shore, he was immediately transported to the Natividad Hospital via an ambulance. According to the Associated Press, city officials say the man suffered injuries to his stomach and leg. The man has been identified as Stephen Brumer, a retired Monterey Peninsula College professor in his 60s. His friend, Jill Hanley, told the news that Brumer suffered broken femur, but he was awake and expected to recover. One of the Good Samaritans, Ami Johns, said that she was nervous while trying to pull Brumer out of the water. I was at one point off of my paddleboard and I was swimming and kicking because the surfer was pulling him and I was pushing him from behind. Police said the Monterey Fire Department, with the assistance of the Seaside Fire Department, deployed a drone over the area to locate the shark, but the mission was not yet successful. As a result of the event, the beach on the south end of Monterey Bay will be closed until Saturday. We send our prayers and thoughts to the swimmer and their family, the police department added in the news release. A woman and her 2 dogs were killed in a lightning strike in the Los Angeles area Wednesday morning as thunderstorms rolled through Southern California. Antonio Mendoza Chavez, 52, was struck by lightning at 8:50 a.m. in Pico Rivera. What the freak is that?
That darn snack machine.
What is that? Hold on a minute, I just lost my thing now. Can't stand those pop-up ads. Hold on a minute, guys. Oh gosh, there's a lot to go through, and now what happened to our... We'll get back to that. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on a minute. We'll get back to the lightning strike in a second. We go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, to talk about a North Carolina man who is sentenced to life without parole in federal prison after he pled guilty to killing a South Carolina woman and admitting to involvement in the deaths and disappearance of 3 others. Daniel Glenn Prince, 59, of Bostic, North Carolina, kidnapped the woman and crossed state lines. Make no mistake that he is categorized as a serial killer, said Sheriff Hobart Lewis of Greenville County, South Carolina, at the news conference on Wednesday. According to the evidence that was presented in court, Prince met the woman, 80-year-old Edna Suttles, on the morning of August 27th after traveling through North Carolina to Travelers Rest, South Carolina. The 2 met at the Food Lion grocery store located off of US 25, and they traveled back to Suttle's home after Prince purchased a 4-pack of yogurt. Later that morning, reports say Prince returned to the Food Lion parking lot and was captured on surveillance video moving a visibly sedated Suttles from her car and into his. He then drove her car to a nearby hotel parking lot where he was seen on surveillance video wiping down the inside and outside of the vehicle. Evidence shows Prince then drove Suttles across state lines back to his home in Bostic, North Carolina. After Suttles did not show up for work the following day, her co-workers called the Greenville County Sheriff's Office to report her missing. Investigators searched Prince's home, and they found several personal items belonging to Suttles, including her keys, her bank card, jewelry, and a pocketbook, most of which were hidden inside a box in a remote part of Prince's property. They also found an open yogurt cup, and forensic lab analysis determined the interior of the cup contained lorazepam, tramadol, and cyclobenzapine. After being charged in federal court in the District of South Carolina, law enforcement said Prince cooperated with their investigation. On March 16, 2022, authorities say he took them to Suttle's body, which he had buried on a nearby property in Rutherford County, North Carolina. During the investigation, agents also found evidence connecting Prince to the disappearance and death of 3 other women, Nancy Rigo, Dolores Sellers, and Lee Goodman. Prince admitted in court that he had some responsibility for or role in the deaths or disappearances. Prince is a monster who has a long history of targeting, kidnapping, and killing women, causing unimaginable loss to his victims and their families, said the U.S. Attorney Corey F. Ellis for the District of South Carolina. He has earned every day of his life sentence, and our communities are safer with him in a prison cell. In 1997, Prince was convicted in Michigan for kidnapping another woman, and he was sentenced to 13 to 30 years in state prison for that crime. He was released in 2009, and his parole was terminated in 2011. He also has prior convictions for firearm possession and assault and battery. On Wednesday, the United States District Judge Donald C. Coggins Jr. accepted Prince's guilty plea and sentenced him to life in prison. There is no parole in the federal system. Though through the plea agreement, Prince waived any right to challenge his conviction or his sentence. We are grateful that the court delivered justice today, and we hope it provides some measure of comfort for the victim's family. Susan Forensic, the FBI Columbia Field Office's special agent in charge, says Prince's violence against women is reprehensible. He earned the court's severe penalty for his crimes. This sentence will never bring back the victims, but it's our hope that the victims' friends and families find peace in the memories of their loved ones. What is this about? Hold on a second. Let me get this. Okay, hold on. Let me just get her this woman's picture. So Jennifer Lynn Faith. Let's look at this court document here. So U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas. Jennifer Faith sentenced to life for murder for hire in her husband's death. Jennifer Lynn Faith is the Oak Cliff woman who convinced her boyfriend to shoot her husband to death. She was sentenced to life in federal prison for orchestrating the murder. The U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Chad E. Meacham, announced. In February of 2021, prosecutors charged Ms. Faith, 49 years old, with obstruction of justice. In September of 2021, they added a charge of use of interstate commerce in the commission of a murder for hire, an offense that carries a potential death sentence. In return for her plea, prosecutors agreed to drop the obstruction charge and to recommend a sentence of life imprisonment. Ms. Faith pled guilty in February and was sentenced Tuesday by U.S. District Judge Jane J. Boyle, who also ordered her to pay $6,500 in restitution to her late husband's family to cover funeral expenses and a $250,000 fine. At her sentencing hearing, prosecutors introduced into evidence a video of Ms. Faith describing the killing to a Dallas homicide detective, Chris Walton, the morning of her husband's murder. I turned around and I just saw this person shoot and shoot. I couldn't believe. I didn't know him. Like, why? She said, sobbing. A lot of shots. 5, 6 maybe. I feel like, and he just kept going. And I'm like, stop it. And then I saw the person turn and like just dark eyes coming towards me. And so I started. I yelled, no. And I started to run. And he tackled me to the ground. He was trying to attack me the whole time I was screaming. Prosecutors also introduced into evidence surveillance audio of Ms. Faith screaming during the attack and video of her crying hysterically afterwards. According to plea papers, Ms. Faith subsequently admitted that her boyfriend, Darren Ruben Lopez, 49, gunned down her husband, American Airlines Technology Director Jamie Faith, on October 9, 2020, in front of his home in Oak Cliff. Mr. Lopez has been charged by the state with murder and by the feds with a gun crime. He has pled not guilty to both charges. Like all defendants, he's presumed guilty until proven. He's presumed innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. Ms. Faith admitted that she knew Mr. Lopez, whom she called her one and only love, had suffered a traumatic brain injury while serving in the U.S. Army in Iraq, leaving him disabled. Both before and after the murder, she sent Mr. Lopez money and gifts and even provided him with 2 credit cards, which she paid off using the proceeds of a Support Jennifer Faith GoFundMe fundraiser launched in the wake of her husband's death. She also admitted that before the murder, she used 2 phony email accounts to correspond with Mr. Lopez, assuming the identities of her own husband and one of her friends in order to falsely convince Mr. Lopez that her husband was physically and sexually abusing her. In plea papers, Ms. Faith stipulated that no such abuse ever occurred. Ms. Faith admitted that she downloaded stock images depicting injuries from the internet and attached some of them to emails to convince Mr. Lopez the abuse was actually occurring. After her arrest, she continued to maintain the fiction. At Tuesday's sentencing, prosecutors introduced a handwritten note that she sent to Mr. Lopez, dated October 19, 2021, less than a month after court documents outlined the email scheme. Just a quick note to say, I never lied to you and I never sent you emails from any account but mine as me. There's a ton of more I wish I could say right now, but I can't right now. 7 months into her relationship with Mr. Lopez, Ms. Faith exited her home with her husband to walk their dog. She acknowledged this in plea papers. 1 minute into their walk, Mr. Lopez, who allegedly drove from his home in Cumberland Furnace, Tennessee, to the Faith's home in Dallas, where he laid in wait at a neighbor's home, allegedly shot Mr. Faith 7 times before fleeing the scene in his black Nissan Titan pickup truck, which had a distinctive T decal on the back window. After she learned that law enforcement was aware of the T decal, Ms. Faith appeared on an ABC affiliate, WFAA, to plead with the public to help investigators locate the decaled truck. Following the interview, Ms. Faith texted Mr. Lopez and encouraged him to remove the sticker from his truck. I woke up in a bit of a panic. Something's eating away at me. You need to take the sticker out of the back window of the truck. She texted, I don't normally overreact like this. Really, think you need to get this sticker off ASAP, like today. Mr. Lopez allegedly removed the sticker the following day. Meanwhile, approximately 1 month after her husband's death, Ms. Faith admitted she initiated a claim with the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company seeking approximately $629,000 in death benefits. Mr. Faith had, through his employer, she periodically updated Mr. Lopez on the status of the claim. In text messages, the pair discussed using the money to apply for a residence in her name in Tennessee. In January of 2021, shortly after she was asked to come in for questioning by investigators, Ms. Faith reached out to Mr. Lopez to coordinate their cover story, she admitted in plea papers. At her sentencing, prosecutors introduced into evidence a text message from Ms. Faith to Mr. Lopez, dated January 10, 2021. Don't text me Monday. I'm going to factory reset my phone on Sunday night after deleting texts. Okay, sounds good, Mr. Lopez responded. Big hug. ATF agents arrested Mr. Lopez on murder charges in Cumberland Furnace on January 11, 2021. The firearm used to kill Mr. Faith was recovered inside Mr. Lopez's home. On February 2, 2021, shortly before she was charged, Ms. Faith contacted a third party and asked that a message be forwarded to Mr. Lopez, who at the time was in custody in Dallas. I am with him. Will always be with him, regardless of whatever has happened. I've needed to be cautious because every communication is being monitored. The message read in part, "Please tell him ASAP, I will always be his." Miss Faith put on quite a performance in the wake of her husband's murder. She poured out her sob story to reporters and law enforcement and then headed home to orchestrate her cover-up, said U.S. Attorney Chad Meacham. But crocodile tears didn't stop the feds. We were committed to getting justice for Jamie, and with the judge's imposition of a life sentence this afternoon, we're one step closer. No amount of time in federal prison will ever be enough to bring back Mr. Faith. However, this sentencing shows the gravity of Miss Faith's criminal acts. Her spineless attempt to sway law enforcement and public opinion will forever be etched into the hearts of those affected by this monstrous crime. I would like to personally thank the Dallas Police Department detectives, the Assistant United States Attorneys, and the ATF special agents that were ultimately responsible for bringing this villain to justice. Okay, so let me see now. All right, so Mimi, hello there. Lisa Hoban, thanks for coming in. Sharon. Cross-eyed Betty. Whisper to me. Oh, they're giving reward money for summer to the courts to decide what to do with it. You heard that on the local news, Mike? Hi, Deborah Vancouver Dan. Okay, so she's like that Susan Smith somewhat, except that Susan Smith did it to her kids. Yeah. All right, so let's what time is it? What are we doing? Go see what else we got. So there's an FBI manhunt underway for a fugitive in connection to his girlfriend's death in Mexico, Tyler Adams, master of disguise. With a criminal record of fraud across multiple states in the U.S., is now wanted in connection with his girlfriend's death in Mexico. Master of disguise. Let's look for Tyler Adams. Master of disguise. He's a master of disguise, isn't he? Man wanted for questioning by the FBI and the disappearance of his girlfriend has a chilling criminal history of stolen identities, disguises, aliases, and that's all according to news reports and court documents. San Diego FBI released a statement last Friday asking for the public's help in finding 50-year-old Tyler Adams. The feds wanted to speak with him about the disappearance of his girlfriend, Raquel Sabine, a Navy veteran. Sabine's remains were found under a blanket in her car in Tijuana. Sabine's family also posted about her death on social media. A representative for the San Diego FBI tells Rolling Stones that Sabine Adams, both U.S. citizens, were living together in Mexico at the time of Sabine's disappearance, and that Adams is the presumed father of Sabine's 7-month-old baby, Valentina, who was reported missing June 10th before being found safe last week. He has a vivid criminal background. He goes by a dozen aliases. He's known as the Master of Disguise, even back in 2013. He reportedly moved to Hawaii in 2007, and he adopted multiple fake identities, including Kevin Kennedy, Lance Irwin, Michael Whitman. He used to impersonate law students. He created 5 fake businesses. He cashed huge fake checks at 2 banks, defrauding them out of more than $120,000. Stole a $5,000 diamond ring from Costco. He was charged with 3 felony counts of theft in 2009, pled no contest in 2013. He had an automatic 10-year prison term for the plea that he took in Hawaii, but when he admitted the charges, he was already serving 14 years in California for a $3 million fraud conviction. For that case, court records show that Adams was charged in 2009 with multiple theft and fraud counts. During the course of that trial, he cycled through several attorneys and periods of representing himself. They checked him out for competency at 3 points during his trial. The last time, his lawyers claimed he attempted to take his own life, but he was found competent each time. He admitted to 48 counts of felony in that case, including using his parents' identities, forging their signatures to buy real estate and other things, collected commissions on some of his own property purchases by posing as the loan officer and real estate agent. His stepfather called the cops in 2007 to report identity theft, and he fled to Hawaii. Prosecutor in Hawaii described him as a con man, a sociopath who had no regard for the victim's property or those who might be affected by his criminal activity. He's currently wanted in Hawaii on a September 2020 warrant for a May 2019 incident, which he escaped from custody. The FBI says that Adams was briefly detained by Mexican authorities last week in relation to the Amber Alert issued for a missing baby. The agency said Mexican authorities questioned him about Sabine at the time, but he was uncooperative. Last Thursday, Adams entered the United States using the alias Aaron Bain. Okay, so yeah, I guess see him around. Okay, let's see. So what? That's really bad surgery. What happened, Alicia? Oh, I wonder how Nancy, how did you make out, and how did Debbie D make out in their surgery? We don't know yet, right? Nancy? And Judy, I have to put Judy, I didn't forget about your husband and what you need for his, I have to get, good night, Danielle. Say, I have to get your stuff together. I'll get it posted. I am hungry. Jujubes. Oh my gosh, it's late already, guys. How'd it get so late? The sloppy sweatshirts? What sloppy sweatshirts? Rough purchased steel tumbler from. Oh, you purchased a steel tumbler for the merch line. Thank you, Ruff. Woohoo! I heard something and I wasn't sure what that was. Did it go across the screen? Thank you, Ruff. It was only one eye, which is how they usually do it. Nancy will still have to undergo one more. She's going to be so happy to see properly again. Yes. Hi, Julianne Gonzalez. Nancy had her surgery on Wednesday. I know. Hope she's doing well. At least she'll have one good eye. Right? How long is she going to have to wait for the other one? Poor thing. Bev asked if I know anything about James Bulger, UK. You want to keep talking about little kitties? 2-year-old boy from Kirkby, Merseyside, England, was abducted, tortured, and this is so, yeah, that's so sad. It's so sad, yeah. Let's try to wind down a little bit and talk about something good for a few minutes. They usually wait 3 months. I'm trying to think. My dad had them both done at the same time. I don't know. So let me see what else is new. Let's see what we can talk about that might be fun or fun or something, just to wind it down, okay? Let's try to wind it down. What could we wind it down with? Let me see. Winding it down. Oh, I know what. Hold on. Maybe we can. Hold on. Let's say this. Okay, so here's some weird finds that people found out and about. There's a little craft project for you to do with some extra boots or shoes you might have and some jeans. Get a wood round, put some fluff on it, tack some fabric, and there you've got a little footstool. Isn't that lovely? Okay, let's see. Hold on, it's playing lullabies for me. Let me see. Not finding such craziness. Somebody found this little teapot. This isn't really that strange. Somebody found these. Well, actually, the person that found these, hold on, she already had the red one, and she found a green and a yellow one to keep it company. Here's a real piggy bank. Have you ever seen the Lego sneaker? I never have. Okay, so I'm not really, okay. And then here somebody found some glasses. You say, luckily I don't have a cookie jar to be afraid of sharing. Alright, joy to the squirrel. Those things in the cart were birds? Yeah, I believe so. Mm-hmm. Okay, and just a big announcement, Jimmy's going to have a concert again, right, Jimmy?
Yep, I don't know exactly what day, but
Before the end of the month. Everybody excited? Footstool was disturbing, Liza. Sorry. Mickey and Minnie. I never put cookies. So, tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. All day we think it's Saturday. Yay! Okay, well, pretty soon. Anyway, lovely times. So yeah, we'll have that, and What can we do before we go? There was something here I had. Still have. Don't be sorry. It was just weird. Oh, it was weird. I have this. We still had another ball here, so we'll open this before we leave. And Judy, I'll get that stuff up tomorrow. You send me an email if something happens. Oh, and the people with the rugs. I think I might have to get her something else. Rosalita, I got your information to her. I think Vintage Girl, we got you settled. I think we got Deb Two Scooter in there. I have to get invoices out tomorrow. We have to do invoicing tomorrow. Okay, but I'll get that done tomorrow for you. I haven't invoiced for the last 2 auctions. But I'll get them done. But then, you know, we'll get it done. You know us, we like a challenge. I don't know. He'll try to do what he could, Liza. You know, if he knows how to do it, he'll take a request. Maybe if you have a request, you should start putting it in now so that he could brush up on it. That would probably be the best thing. All right, that would probably be the best. Maybe I'll put up a community post, and then you guys can put requests there. Okay, I'll take care of it, Mimi. Don't worry. Oh, this is really cute. What is this? Oh, SpongeBob in a little car. I'll find out. Don't worry. But I'll find out. Oh, Angelique. Reach over troubled waters. Walk of Life. Mike, I've never heard him do the Walk of Life, but we'll see. Might surprise you, right? What this is? So it's the So Cool sewing machine. We'll see. Classical gas. What's this? I can't. It's a pair of lips, but it won't focus. Let me see. It's a pair of lips. Swak. Something swak lips or something. I don't know what that is. I've never gotten a gold. Oh, a little Care Bear. I got a Care Bear. A little Care Bear. Robbity Bob. Enjoy your time off, Robbity Bob. Robbity Bob. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. I don't know. He could do I Feel Pretty. Yeah, those big wax lips, but that's not what it was. That's not what that is, I don't think. I am starving. I really didn't. I have not eaten a lot today, and I rode for 10 miles. I need to eat something. Maybe I'll have a vanilla yogurt or something. I'm hungry. Time's that? Because if I go to bed, I'm going to be starving. They still sell those. Yeah, I think I have a pair here, believe it or not. Remember when that lady, I think her name was Lisa? No. Karen? Yeah. She sent me all that candy when Jimmy was in the hospital. She didn't send it because Jimmy was in the hospital, but Jimmy just ended up in the hospital with the diverticulitis. Remember last summer? I can't believe that was last summer already. He had to go to the hospital. Remember that? He was in the hospital for a week. Yeah. So that was July, wasn't it? Carol was her name. Carolyn, I'm so curious. Why do people... Well, you can... Okay. Like my future daughter-in-law thinks they're really super duper cute. So I give some to her and stuff. But you can do little crafts with them. So say you get the Avenger stuff. You could put them in a little shadow box. And then I've seen people... I believe it's been sent me one a long time ago, which says something like enjoy the little things, and it's a shadow box, and inside there's little things all in there. So you can do that. You can use them in doll houses, okay, if they're to scale, whichever ones you like. Some people just like to collect little things. I had a friend, she was the first little thing person, she loved little things. I used to, oh, you have the cutest little things. But she always had little things. And some people really like little things. But she always had little things. And they didn't have these little things. I told you, with my dollhouse, I was like so glad I had a little U-Band coffee. I used to get it from a gumball machine. And a box of cornflakes. They didn't have stuff like this now. But I love miniatures, I do. Miniatures are very cute. But you could put them in all kinds of things. Shadow boxes, little displays. Miniatures are fun. Especially if you have somebody that's a collector of like whatever like these are. So SpongeBob or Star Wars, like the little R2-D2. My kids love those. You like the fit with the mini purses. Yeah, they're really cute too. But my daughter-in-law, future daughter-in-law, really love those. I usually can. What else? I have to get a vanilla yogurt. Do you want to sit here while I get a yellow? Or should I not eat while I vanilla yogurt? I don't know what else I could tell you. Oh, it was funny today when I was riding my bike. And I kept passing my neighbors, right? Who were up here from Manhattan. They're just so happy to be out of Manhattan right now. And he used to jog like a madman. Oh, you did? For your niece's baby? That's nice. He used to jog like a madman. And I remember when they got together. It's crazy. But anyway, and I have to ask him something. He was going by with his wife, and I passed him a number of times while I was driving. And then when I got down to the bottom, because we have a big hill, Jimmy was down there, and then we were looking at my bike, and we took a picture, and for Instagram, my bike looks a little... Anyway, then Jimmy tried it for the first time, and he was coming back with them. And they were looking up the driveway, and it was so cute because Desi and Lucy were sitting like right there waiting for us, and they looked perfect. I mean, they look like little show dogs. It was crazy. So he goes, wow, those are some, nice looking dogs. What kind are they? Because he has a little Yorkie. I don't even know if he has this little Yorkie, because where's the Yorkie? I wonder if something happened. Because I think that Yorkie was pretty old. But anyway, they had a little Yorkie. And so he said, what kind are they? And it was like this guy never saw, he didn't understand a Scotty and a Westie. So he kept going back and forth, the Scotty, the Westie, Scotty, the Westie, Scotty. Then he goes, and this is weird, okay? Because this guy is a very intelligent guy and stuff, okay? And they've had a dog. I imagine, like, he goes, did you specifically look for a Scotty? Yeah, Jeff, we did. Okay. Where'd you find that, Scotty? I said they're a little bit hard to find, but my daughter found them. AKC? Yeah, on the AKC site. It's the other one. The other one's a Westie. A what? West Highland White Terrier. They're both Scottish, from Scotland, terriers. What did you say the white one was? A Westie. And then Jimmy's going on and giving like extraneous information, getting the guy all confused. Where'd you get the white one? I said, you don't want to know the story of that. And I told them the story. We went through the whole story where that guy came running out and everything. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And they were laughing, and then his wife was like, she's Japanese. She's so funny. And she goes like this. Was it dark? I said, oh. It was very dark. And then she's like, oh my gosh. And so it was fun. It was very fun. They were like, what did you do? And it was funny. It was nice to see them. Anyway. Oh, I have to finish my dollhouse too, Mimi. I have to finish my dollhouse too. I'll finish it. Oh shoot. Hold on a minute. Just hang on. No, they come with the furniture and stuff, Kevin. Mm-hmm. Remember that, Julianne? That crazy story? I said I have to make that into a short story. Jimmy was telling them all about those 250-gallon oil drums that they made into that, like, furnace that you could put a body in. That was the craziest thing. That was so crazy. I had to have a cookie, Julianne. I'm starving. But I hope they said it's gonna be nice. If it's nice, I have to ride tomorrow, and then I have to color my hair. And Sandy has agreed. She's gonna come on Zoom, and we're gonna sit here like this, and she's gonna direct Jimmy how to color my hair. And do you know what Jimmy said? Do you want to do it on a live? I said, no, I don't. I don't want to do it on a live. He goes, you don't want to do it on a live? Why don't we do it on a live? He goes, we can do the whole thing. We'll go over here to the sink. We'll do the rinse. I said, what? It's the last thing that I want to do on a live. Can you imagine that? It'll be alive enough. Sandy will be laughing at us. Yours had a Volkswagen Bug, maybe? But he's going to do my hair. You see, you would be addicted. Julie W. What are you listening to? Lindbergh? My father actually lived, oh gosh, what was the story? They lived near the guy that, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something with that story. I know, Liza. Charles Lindbergh. And you know, you want to hear a funny story? My brother looked like the Lindbergh baby. I told you, my brothers are much older than me, and I'll never forget, my mother said about preventive, we need to talk about it, you and I need to talk about it, or we all need to talk about it. Well, in order not to have them, you've got to color your hair like every 3 weeks. But I usually wait till I have them. Isn't that bad? Good night, Ref and Ready. Crystal, 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 Crystal. It's good to see you. But yeah, so I don't know. I want to ride tomorrow, and it'll be fun. So there'll be a lot of people up. And what else? Now Jimmy's like, because Jimmy has a trek bike, okay? He goes like this. You're not going to believe this. I said, what? He goes like this. This whole thing is broken on my bike. I said, what? So what do you need now? Because Jimmy did this when he got his bike. He made such a big deal to get this bike, but he got it secondhand from this guy. And he never rides. Okay? He always gets a bike whenever I get it, but he never rides. It wasn't live, Kathy. It was pre-recorded. But he never gets. He'll ride like once or twice and then he does it, but he always has to have it. So now I could tell he was getting bike envy. So he goes like this. Look at this. You didn't see this. I said, what? Some part on his bike. So what are you going to do? He said, so I'm going to get the parts and I fix that. Then he goes, and then Luke and Ethan. Well, Luke can get Ethan's bike, but then Ethan needs another bike. And I'm just like, whoa, boy. Everybody's getting bike envy. I love it, Deborah Vancouverden. You know what? I usually, my older kids, they put a very big part of that into that. You know, they gave me, for my birthday, a huge chunk of what that bike costs, the both of them. And, I freaked a little bit buying that bike. I'm not going to lie. But it's the best thing I've done. Because, knock on wood, that bike will last me forever. Has a lifetime warranty. The bike shop will it gets a free tune-up the first year. And then they'll handle anything that comes that way, and I'm just very excited to have it. Very, very, very blessed. But it's a huge difference. Oh, and then I told you, I told you, my daughter said, you're ready for the 5-borough bike tour now, Mom. And she's been trying to get me to do the 5-borough bike tour for a long time. And I said, I think that's the one that's 40 miles. So she said, please do the 5-borough bike tour with me. And I don't know if I can think about I said, why don't we do the one in New Jersey? Don't do that. The roots turn out too late. The heat of the roots. The directions say start at the roots, but don't do that. Oh, okay. Well, he's going to be guided by Sandy, but I think can get over the bars. Rubbity Bob over the. You can get a step through bike. It doesn't even have those bars. If you want, they have step through bikes. They don't even have that bar anymore. Yeah, no, Deborah. They make what's called a step-through bike. They don't even have the cross bike. But anyway, I can only do indoor cycling. You know what? Gia does that. She does the spin classes. I'll ask her, Julianne. I will. She loves the spin classes. She wants me to go to the spin classes with her, and I told her, no, come on. You know, we'll go bike. She wants to go biking here, but now, I don't. But I said to Scooter, can you imagine if like this bike gets me like massively into this cycling kick that I'm like, I want to go to this one, because I was the lady at the cycle store was telling me about. I said, you know, once I saw a bunch of cyclists coming over that hill that I walked down, and she said it was probably a ride out of Scranton. So I might look for rides. If my daughter will go with me with one, I think that'd be really fun. I know she'll go with me. I mean, if we can coordinate one. Should get back on it, Krista. I always ride, but I've never, like, I haven't treated myself to a bike like this in forever. Like, probably I'm glad that I did it. I really am. Good workout. What are you doing? What are you working out with? What are you working out with? Mimi? What's Mimi doing? She's saying it's good workout, harder than riding bike. Maybe brutal, depends on your instructor. What, Mimi? I missed it. What kind? My daughter said she went to some kind of, what'd she call it? Something core something. She said it was insane. Oh, were you talking about the spin? She likes to compete spinning. Yeah. I don't know. You're at the playing stage of my bed. I don't know. I felt I really liked it. But rowing is brutal. Rowing? Yeah, I like rowing, but you do it on a rowing machine, right? Rowing and kayaking A lot of people don't row anymore. They have the little electric motors. I like rowing with the oars. Because of your neck, you're enjoying walking. Walking's good. Walking's good. Walk a lot, yeah. But see, I was able to like a lot more. What did you say about the hybrid? This is a hybrid. They said this bike will take me wherever I want to go. That's what she told me. If I want to ride on gravel, I ride on gravel. If I want to ride on trail, I ride on a trail. If I want to ride on a road, I'll ride on a road. If I want to commute to work with it, I can commute to work with it. If I want to go on a bike tour, I can go on a bike tour with it. It's very versatile. But anyway, I am tired. I have to go to bed because I want to ride tomorrow, and I don't want to come on. I was talking with friends tonight, and I'm sorry that I was late. All right, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Keep thinking it's Saturday, but it's Friday. I'll try to come on and do an afternoon video too. All right, love you guys. God bless. Prayers for all that need them. We'll see you tomorrow. And Judy with an eye, I'll get your stuff up. I'll put it up in Slack, and I'll put it up on the community tab about your husband and the stuff. Okay. Prayers, Judy.